Great Spaghetti. Today I've got the master himself, Henry Mancini and Peter Gunn. Yep, we're going to go way back, and I've got it on the Ed Sullivan Show as well. So this takes it way back to the very beginning, probably 1958. It didn't give me a date. That's when the show came out. And we'll talk about the show, the song, Henry, and a whole lot more after the video. But the way I do it here, if you're new, I don't stop the video once I start it. I'll let it play all the way through. So let's get the book video pulled up. Henry Mancini and his orchestra. Peter Gunn theme. Hit like, subscribe, post notification bell.
Now here is the distinguished composer Henry Mancini. The Academy Award winner has written such hits as The Days of Wine and Roses, Moon River, Two for the Road, so many of them. He now plays one of his first big musical hits, Peter Gunn. But first, let's
All right, what a catchy tune that was. And it was a big hit for him. It was on a TV show. Let's talk about that first. Peter Gunn, the TV show. It was starring Craig Stevens as a private investigator, Lola Albright as his girlfriend, and it ran from 58 to 60 on NBC, and then 60 to 61 it moved over to ABC. Blake Edwards was the creator, producer of it, and the character was styled after Cary Grant. At that time, most PIs were kind of rough characters and that kind of thing, but not this one. Every hair was in place, neatly dressed, fine suits, and he had a penchant for jazz, which was really good because that opened up a lot of music scores for Henry Mancini to display some of his talent on the show, because he often would go to this club and there was jazz music going on. Well, guess what? Henry Mancini wrote a lot of that music and got to display some of his talent. So, and it was a decent show. It wasn't bad. I saw it in reruns. I was too young to watch it as first run, but I saw it in reruns. And the song was much more popular than the TV show was. I mean, the song was won a Grammy, nominated for other music awards as well, and it kind of took on a life of its own. My high school band played it every game. I mean, probably throughout the country for years. That song had been played, probably still is, and a lot of orchestras have done it. I just found out, and I did not know this myself. The rock group Emerson, Lake and Palmer did a version of it using synthesizers as well. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I did not know that, and so I got to pull that one up. That sounds like a fun one. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer was is a progressive rock group. But anyway, Henry Mancini. Now he has been called the greatest composer in the history of film and TV. I mean, he has written dozens and dozens of scores for movies and for television shows, specials, you name it. He's practically done it. He went to work for Universal Studios for a while, and he scored over, worked on one way or another. He worked on over 100 movies, and he kind of got locked in there for a little while doing a lot of horror shows, and so a lot of horror movies, and like Tarantula and um, Creature from the Blue Lagoon, so swamp, whatever it was, you know what I'm talking about. The swampy creature, Black Lagoon, that's what it was, I believe. But anyway, he was part of that, and he was even the pianist for the Glenn Miller Band at one point in time. After the war, he went to the war in World War II, started over there in part of the Air Force, the Army. At that time, it was Army Air Force. Air Force hadn't been fully created yet as a separate entity. So it was the Army Air Force, and he was part of the band there. And then he was switched to another division later on and liberated a concentration camp over in Austria. So kudos for that. But he came back and was part of the Glenn Miller Band as a pianist, and he's a composer, a writer, director, a musician. He pretty much did it all. But he found his niche after watching the Cecil B. DeMille movie as a young boy, and a score of a movie that just impressed him, that the movie had such beautiful music in it. And so that he said, that's what I wanted to do. And sure enough, he did it. His father wanted him to be a teacher. And he said, no, music's where I'm going to go. And get this, he was nominated for 72 Grammys and won 20. And he's gotten uh, Oscars as far as his scores for music, 20 Grammys, 4 Oscars, 1 Golden Globe, been nominated for many, many more. He did the Pink Panther, Moon River, and many more Breakfast at Tiffany's as well. So we'll get to some of his stuff later on, get to more of his, but I wanted to take a dip into this one and get this one exposed and keep it alive. So thanks for dropping by. That's a little bit about him. We'll get to more of his stuff, as I mentioned. If you have a request or a suggestion, put it down below. Hit the like button. That really helps me out. And if you would hit the notification bell, you'll get notified every time I put up a video. And go ahead and subscribe and become part of the brigade. That sure helps me out there. All right. Thanks a lot for dropping by. Drop by again. And don't forget to, you know, be nice to each other out there and be nice to yourself. Okay? Come back and see me. Bye.